Hi fellow crafters, Mother's Day is just around the corner, so today I have a beautiful Mother's Day fun fold card idea using the brand new Sending Smiles bundle and my stitched rectangles dies. I would love to show you this card idea. Hey everyone, I'm Terri from nutsaboutsstamping.com. I love sharing techniques and project ideas for rubber stamping, paper crafting, and scrapbooking with you each week. Be sure to hit that red subscribe button and the bell beside it so that you'll be the first to be notified when my next video goes live. If you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator yet, I would love for you to choose me. I'll link to my online stores in the description box underneath this video. Speaking of video, be sure to watch all the way through for my bonus tips and design ideas. Now, let's get going on this amazing fun fold card idea. I bet you're a bit curious about the Sending Smiles bundle, so let's have a quick look at it first. This bundle will be available for you to order next month when the new annual catalog goes live. Stampin' Up! Demonstrators, like me, can pre-order from the upcoming catalogs a month in advance, so it gives us time to create sample ideas to share with you. Now, I chose this bundle because I consider the stamp set a Stamp and Go set. All of the images are solid, so they don't require time to color in. I'm a really busy person, perhaps you are too, so when you're looking at new stamp sets or bundles to purchase, consider ones that have solid images so that you can stamp and go. Now, I also chose this set because it is an all-occasion stamp set. The phrases can be used for a variety of occasions, which makes it a great value for your dollar. The dies are the perfect complement. There are dies to go with the flowers, with the stems, and then there's this sending set of dies. So you can stamp the phrase and die cut it out, or you can take cardstock and die cut both of these out in the same color or different colors. I'm going to be using this die on today's card, so I'll show you how it looks. So let's get started on this fun fold card idea. My card base is going to be soft succulent, and it's going to be a portrait layout. I'm going to first take one of my larger stitched rectangle dies, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and I'm going to die cut this rectangle out of the front of the card. So let me do that. I'll come back and we'll continue with this project. Okay, I'm done with this die, and as you can see, it die cut a window in the front of my card, and there's this piece left over. But don't throw this out because we're going to use this as part of the fun fold, which we'll create next. To create the fun fold layer, I have a piece of basic white cardstock. I'm going to bring in my Simply Scored, and I'm going to score it at the 2-inch mark and at the 4-inch mark. Now I'm going to bring in my bone folder, and I'm going to fold the 2-inch score line this way, and I'm going to fold the 4-inch score line the other way. So it creates sort of like an accordion. Now it's time to decorate both the card front and the layer for inside the card. I'm going to decorate the card front first. I'm going to open it up, and as you can see, I have a scrap piece of grid paper underneath, and I'm going to stamp tone on tone. So I'm going to use my soft succulent ink, and I have this small flower from the Sending Smiles stamp set, and what I want to do is stamp off and stamp on. So I want this flower to be seen, but not really overtake the card front. So let me go ahead and stamp all around, and then I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I have my card front done. I'm going to set it aside, and next we're going to work on this layer that is eventually going to be part of the fun fold inside the card. So I'm going to open it up, and I'm going to focus on the larger section of the insert. And I'm going to use my soft succulent ink, my Daffodil Delight ink, and my Early Espresso ink. I've got one of the stems from the Sending Smiles stamp set, and what I want to do is use my soft succulent ink, and I want to stamp the stem down on the bottom sort of left-hand section of this layer. Then I'm going to bring in my Daffodil Delight, and I am going to ink up this flower image and stamp it down like so. And then for Early Espresso, I have this tiny center, and I'm going to ink that up and stamp it down like that. Now I'm going to set this aside for a bit, and we're going to do some die cutting. Next, I have a piece of soft succulent cardstock, and what I want to do is die cut the sending phrase from the dies. Now this is a very intricate die, so to help me adhere it to my card layer, I've attached a piece of the adhesive sheets that I've cut to measure the same as the soft succulent. I peeled off the backing, and then I've attached it to this so it's ready to go. But I also, at the same time that I'm die cutting, I want to die cut a stitched rectangle basic white layer that I'm also going to use on my card. So I'm going to stop the video. I'll die cut the sending phrase, and then I'll die cut this rectangle, and then I'll show you the next steps in this fun fold. I'm going to use the larger stem in the Sending Smiles stamp set, and I am going to stamp it down like so. And then I'm going to bring in the smaller stem from the same stamp set. We've already used this one, and I am going to stamp it down like so. Next, I'm going to bring back in this flower top, and I'm going to attach it or stamp it down, connect it to this flower that we're building. And then I'll bring back in the top part or the center of the flower and stamp it like so. Now what I want to do though for the second one is I want to use the same pieces, but I'm going to use the dies to go with them. So I've got a scrap piece of basic white, and what I'm going to do is stamp down the first piece and then stamp down the second piece. And then I'm going to use this die to die cut it out. So let me do that next. There we go. It's die cut out and ready to attach to this card layer. And I'm going to attach it using some mini Stampin' Dimensionals because I want to add a little bit of visual interest to this layer. And one way to do that is to pop up a section of it like so. Isn't that cute? Now, remember this layer that was left over when we die cut it out of the card front? Well, what I'm going to do is attach this layer, this floral layer, to it using some Stampin' Dimensionals. And there we go. It's ready to use on my card. Now, let's bring in the card base. I'm going to set this aside for a second. And what I want to do is I want to next attach this basic white layer to the card base. And I'm going to do that using some Stampin' Seal. But you only want to add adhesive to the larger section, and you want to leave this piece free. So I added some Stampin' Seal to just the larger portion, like so, and then this can fold in and out like so. Now next, remember we die cut this out, so I'm going to peel off the backing of the sending word, gently pull off the backing, like so, and then I'm going to adhere it to this layer. Like so. Now I attached the die cut towards the top of this layer because I want to have room to write inside the card. Now I decided to take the phrase "smiles across the miles" because this card is going to be sent to my stepmother. When my mother died when I was a teenager, my father remarried a wonderful woman, and she's been a great support to me over all of these years. So I'm going to send this Mother's Day card to her, and I thought the "smiles across the miles" phrase would be perfect. Now I've got a couple of choices. I can put it up here, or I could put it down here. And I think I'm going to tuck it down here on my card and give me lots of real estate to write a message to her. I decided to use Early Espresso sort of to color coordinate with what I've used already. I went ahead and stamped the phrase down here. Now we have this piece. So what we want to do is fold up this fun fold. We want to close the card, and then we want to put this layer inside like so. So here's a great tip for you. Apply your adhesive when the card is closed, and that way you'll have perfect placement for the layer. So I've added some Stampin' Seal, and what I'm going to do is tuck this layer in like so, and then push it down onto where I've attached the adhesive, and then look, I can open it up, and we have a beautiful Mother's Day fun fold card idea. Now let's talk embellishments. The first embellishment I'm going to use on my Mother's Day card is this soft, succulent open weave ribbon. It's very subtle. It has a little bit of a sheen to it. And what I'm going to do is I've already cut a strip that I'm going to use, and I'm going to close up my card, and I'm going to attach my ribbon to the front and tie it in a knot. So I'll go ahead and do that, and I'll show you what it looks like, and then we'll talk about some other embellishments that I've decided to use on my card. Okay, I've got my ribbon ready to go. The next embellishment that I want to add are some of these in-color jewels, and so I've got the ones that are soft succulent, and I think what I'll do is just add a bit of bling to this fun fold layer, like so. And then I'm going to open up my card, and for the dot on the eye, I'm going to use one of the more yellow in-color jewels, like so. And then finally, I think it would be fun to add a couple of the brushed brass butterflies elements to complete my card. I decided to add a small butterfly there, and then inside the card, I added one of the larger butterflies there. And that completes my gorgeous Mother's Day fun fold card idea. If you would like to see another fun fold card idea, why not watch this video next? And if you would like a complete listing of supplies and measurements for all of the layers for this card, along with the ordering numbers for the Sending Smiles bundle, which will be available for you to order soon, I will link to my blog post in the description box underneath this video. I'm Terri. I'm nuts about stamping. I hope you'll try this fun fold card idea someday soon. Bye for now.